Hello there, one and all, and thank you very much for tuning into episode 514 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, live on YouTube as always. I say hopefully live on YouTube because I had to reload the broadcast stream, so hopefully I am coming through clear and not too loud. First comment for today goes to Rachel, who says, delighted for Mr. P's opinion on this one. Interesting. And why particularly this one? And Gavin says, oh, it's all gone geometric. Thank you very much for noticing. That is my little trick here. Yes, we have a slightly different background for today. Natasha says hello to everyone. Perfumed by the Sea says hello. I have a couple of Roger Gallet perfumed waters. Love them. Great in summer when we have 2 days of heat. And Natasha also goes on to tell us that she went into an actual physical perfume shop today. How exciting! How novel. I tried on Labdanum and Oak by Air. AER? Is that an acronym that I should recognize, or is that the name of the brand? It's a bit harsh. Okay, well, never mind. Right, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do consider doing so. You should be able to find details of my Ko-fi page in the video description below if you would like to find out how you can support my work. And you should also see a link to my Substack. That's the word I was looking for. The plan for today, for the benefit of those of you watching live, is that we're going to do 3 videos back to back. We've got the new Roger Gallet Cologne Twist. Then we will come back with a reissue. I'm so nervous about this one, but I shouldn't talk too much about it, because months from now, people may be watching a recording of this and then they won't know what on earth is the next episode that well, the next episode will be episode 515. I'm really nervous about this reissue, but we shall save that one for the next video. And then the final video will be a showcase of a relatively new, but really interesting brand. So Roger Gallet, this is new from them. Gavin, I shall try to pronounce the perfumer's name like this. Cologne Twist, there we are. Cologne Twist is made by Karine Dubreuil-Sereni. How did I do? I don't know. Karine Dubreuil-Sereni. And a lot of you will know that Roger & Gallet are one of a few brands that were sort of... We won't get into who created the original cologne business now, but they were certainly at the forefront of creating the perfume type that we now call the eau de cologne, the classic citrusy herbal cologne that is a quick spritz and gives you not a quick spritz, but you know what I mean, gives you a sort of quick pick-me-up, a mood booster, should have a high proportion of natural ingredients. And Roger & Gallet, their cologne, I think, remains one of the best ones available. And Roger & Gallet are an interesting brand because in France, they're available in what I think the French call parapharmacies. I mean, I have no idea how this works in the rest of the world, but in the UK, if you want sort of basic medications, like if you want to go and get your paracetamol or your ibuprofen, and actually perhaps even some medications that are not that basic, they're a couple of notches above basic, and if you want to get some skincare that is a notch or two above basic, and maybe some bath products that are a notch or two above basic, you pretty much can go to a supermarket here, right? And you would, I think, only nowadays really go to a chemist, a pharmacy, if you needed some medication that requires a prescription. I mean, obviously there are exceptions to this, and I think it was last week we talked about the fact that it's in some slightly old-fashioned UK chemists that you get things like 4711 and Brut and Old Spice, etc., etc. But in France, I think I'm right in saying that you wouldn't ever really have paracetamol, ibuprofen, etc. At a supermarket, and you would need to go to a chemist, and the chemist, the parapharmacy, is a very serious establishment, because they don't just do medication, but they also have really quite serious level skincare and bath products, etc. And where I'm going with this is that Roger & Gallet is a very successful and highly regarded parapharmacy type brand in France. You go to a large parapharmacy and you get the full range of their soaps. Really, really beautiful soaps. If you're ever looking for a soap to give to somebody as a gift, you know, soap that is affordable but is still expensive enough to count as a special gift, do consider the Roger and Gallet soaps. They are such good quality, really, really good perfumes in them as well. And they have a few non-cologne perfumes as well. But in the UK, I think it's only recently, in the last couple of years, that they've started raising their profile. And I guess one way that they want to continue trying to raise their profile is with the release of this Cologne Twist, which, as it says, aims to be a twist on their classic cologne. I feel like I have been rabbiting on now for the last 3 minutes without looking at a single comment. So what have you folks been saying? Because I'm interested to know what you think about Roger and Gallet. I mean, we have a Roger and Gallet soap in our bathroom right now. It's the rose one, which is a particularly good one. K. Dot says, Mr. P, thank you for introducing me to Abbey Rouge EDT. Okay, a little bit off topic, but you're very, very welcome. I'm always happy to introduce people to Abbey Rouge. I have fallen absolutely in love with it. I'm so glad. It's very easy to fall in love with Abbey Rouge, though, isn't it? Rachel says, I'm always curious how historic brands present themselves today. Yes, I know what you mean. And we kind of touched on a little bit of that sort of issue with the Bien-Aimé interview a few days ago, didn't we? Roger and Gallet, as far as I know, never went away in France. They stuck around and they've just continued to reinvent themselves. They had a bit of an image shift not that long ago, quite an admirably subtle image shift, because they tweaked the logo, they tweaked the look of their bottles, but they didn't go, they didn't go full on Annick Goutal and do a complete change around. Paula says, in Spain, all of this works in the same way. Interesting, as in France, though they're called pharmacies that sell also parapharmaceutical products. Interesting. Perfume by the Sea says, I found them in my local chemist on my street. They have a nice little supply of R&G, the soaps and shower gels as well. Good, affordable brand. 100% agree. Jonathan says, I have one Roger and Gallet, super inexpensive, solid classic smell. Just stopping in quick. Happy holidays, Persolaise and all. That's very, very sweet, Jonathan. Thank you. All the best to you as well. And Gavin says Roger and Gallet is department store Christmas gift set as well in the UK, except department stores are now few and far between. Very, very true. So we should smell this one. I have had an initial sniff. I have a pre-sprayed blotter, he said confidently. Where on earth? Let me just get that. With this new setup, I haven't quite worked out where to put things. Anyway, there's the pre-sprayed Cologne Twist. I shall need a writing implement as well. But as I say, I tried this as soon as the sample arrived a few days ago, and I was impressed. I just thought, yes, this is exactly what it should be, exactly what it ought to be. Oh, Karen says, thanks for talking about this brand and cologne, something I know very little about and had made certain assumptions about anything that was cologne. Well, it depends how purist you want to be, because eau de cologne, as opposed to eau de toilette, eau de parfum, has now also come to stand for a fairly low concentration of perfume. So, if eau de toilette is concentrated at something like 7 or 8%, but you have a perfume that's concentrated at about 1, 2, 3%, then a lot of brands will call that eau de cologne. But, let's not get too worried about this. So this is Cologne Twist. Yeah, it's just absolutely what you want it to be. It's got that original cologne DNA in it. The musks come through, but they're not overused. This is not a cologne that relies heavily on the sort of longevity extending power of musks. You get a suggestion of herbs coming through as well, but the star here is a lemon, a really, really juicy, sweet, kind of dew-covered lemon. And what's also interesting, and hats off to Karine Dubreuil-Sereni, lemon is a tough note to do in perfumery nowadays, because rightly or wrongly, we have come to associate that particular scent with cleaning products. Now, this doesn't go into that territory at all. This is a fresh lemon, like you've just picked up from the grocers, and you run your fingers across the zest and release some of the oils. It's got a very, very, very convincing naturalness and a really nicely judged kind of narrowly orange blossom note as well. it's charming. And you want a cologne to be charming. We have had some good colognes lately. Oh, Jeff says, what is the twist supposed to be in this version? My understanding is that the twist is that the twist on the classic Roger and Gallet cologne. But actually, let us find out, because I have a press release as well. So this is Cologne Twist. Roger and Gallet have reimagined the iconic Jean-Marie Farina fragrance with Cologne Twist. So there you go. It's a twist on that. A fresh and a vibrant interpretation, blending citrus fruits with aromatic herbs and spices. The new formula adds depth with woody and musky undertones, creating a groundbreaking twist on the original. Okay. Groundbreaking is maybe a little bit of PR oversell, but never mind. They've got to work hard to sell these things to us, haven't they? And that's it. Then it just tells us that the top notes are lemon, mandarin, and bergamot, and all of them come through in one form or another, or to some extent in when you smell it. In the heart, we've got rosemary, clary sage, and spearmint. Ah, interesting. Is it minty? Maybe that's what makes it so bright and fresh. And I'm not particularly getting something minty here, but definitely something herbal. And in the base, cashmere woods, which probably means cashmeran, moss, and tonka bean. The Cologne Twist bottle features a modern design combining craft grey with neon yellow in a nod to the 90s. Okay, but why should there be a nod to the 90s? I don't get that. Is there a particular reason we should have a nod to the 90s with this release? Anyway, Rachel says reimagining is just reformulation. I guess. I mean, the original cologne isn't going away. They have, they still do the original cologne, and they also do a kind of, oh, somebody help me out. They do a sort of, is it an extra strong, or do they call it like an extra vieille version of the cologne, which is also pretty good? I can't remember. Somebody watching will let me know. But what I was saying before we do the pre-spray blotter is that we have had some good colognes lately. I was really taken with the one that I talked about last week from the brand To My Ships. Gavin, are you doing your Brian Blessed voice right now? Polygonum. I've been wearing that a lot the last few days. Really nicely done. And then also last year, the Cologne Celeste or Cologne Celeste from Celine was a good one. So I don't know, a bit of a resurgence of colognes, perhaps. Extra vieille, says Maria. Thank you very much. That was good. Marcel was nice, says Jeff. Yes, from Marie Jeanne. They did one which was male Marcel, as in Marcel, and then Marcel, and they're both really good as well. Okay. Keep this short and sweet. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back in a few minutes with my first proper sniff of the re-released Absolu pour le Soir from Francis Kurkdjian. Okay, see you in a bit. Oh, I'm so nervous about it. Episode 515 coming up in a few minutes. Bye now.